Hey guys, Suno here, and as you can see in the title of the video, I'm going to be going over what to do when things get stressful, what to do when things are uncertain, right? You don't know what's going to happen next. You're stressed out. Things look kind of bleak, even sometimes. What do you do in that situation? That's what I'm going to talk about in this video. Now, with that being said, the first thing is stress is always not negative. A lot of people misunderstand stress to be something negative, but it's not always the case, right? While generally stress is not good for your well being, there's also something called good stress. Good stress is mandatory, especially when you're growing, right? When you're on the path of growth, of course, you're going to feel stress. It's something that's natural because you're pushing past the comfort zone. You are going for the unknown, the uncharted. At least according to you, you never experienced it before. You have not done it before. So of course you're going to feel uncomfortable, right? Because again, you're going past your comfort zone. You know, since you are going out of your comfort zone, it's not comfortable anymore, right? And that is going to contribute to your stress. And that stress is good because it's an indicator that, hey, you are growing. I am on that path of growth. I am on the trajectory of growth. And it's usually you have to sink a little bit, right? You have to sink a little bit and then only you go up, right? Because you have to lose your current self in order to get to your dream version, your ideal version. With that being said, right, let me give you an entrepreneurial example, right? Now, I think a lot of business owners would resonate with this, right? Especially when you've launched your company brand new, right? You've just launched a company. I think a lot of your entrepreneurs will get what I'm saying. Now, when you have launched a company brand new, you've just launched it. It's just you've just now made it operational. You know, you have to make things pick up, right? When you are in that stage, when you are in that early stage, you're going to be spending a lot of money, right? You're going to be spending a lot of cash, right? Your expenses are going to be high because you have to invest into the business so that it grows, right? And that is, I don't know, man, it's capable of causing some real stress, believe me. So what do you do though? Like, because we, you don't know for sure whether it'll give you a return on investment or not. You don't know for sure whether you'll get an ROI or not, right? And then, of course, it's going to make you anxious, nervous, stressed. So that's an example, right? And while that stress is mandatory, that is something natural, of course, you're going to go through that. We can't let it prevent us from, you know, we can't let it ruin our decision making, right? We can't let it negatively affect our decision making. We can't let it ruin us, basically. Because success is only possible when you can make good decisions every single day and execute on them every single day as well. So, firstly, to manage the stress and to keep it to a minimum, that we don't want unnecessary stress, right? You want to keep it to you want to keep it as low as possible. So that's why we need to manage our stress properly and manage our decision making properly as well. Because the decisions you make that also contribute to the stress, right? Firstly, again, it all starts with your decision making, the decisions that you make every single day. When you're taking risks, ensure it's calculated. That's the first fucking thing you can do. When you're taking risks, ensure it's calculated. Only calculated risks. Do not be a fool and don't do things without a plan. Alright? If you don't have a plan of action, then don't do it, man. Of course, you gotta gamble sometimes, but do it as calculated as possible, right? For example, let's say you're advertising for the first time in your company. Right? You've never run a business before. This is the first time that you're running this business. Okay, what do? You first make a proper business plan. What is your offer? What is your service? How are you going to deliver? How are you going to fulfill your customers? How do you ensure you have a decent enough profit margin so that you can reinvest back into your business? All those things need to be planned out before you even spend a single dollar. That's what you do. You make a plan of attack. That way, you can ensure your dollars are spent properly. All that savings, hard-earned savings, all that hard-earned cash is spent properly, and you maximize your likelihood of getting a return on investment. Right? Even VC, right? This is an advanced example. People who raise money, who get venture capital, sometimes they don't even know what they're doing, right? They raise that capital and then boom, they're now stuck because they lost freedom. This is a problem that a lot of owners, right? A lot of founders face, especially when they are in a VC environment, right? Because they have to now answer to all their investors, the shareholders, basically, and that's super fucking stressful, man. That's basically like having a job because you gotta answer to your shareholders, right? That's like a boss, basically, because they have invested money with you, and sometimes millions of dollars, right? So of course you gotta answer to that, and that is something that if you ask them, they don't want that, right? They would probably like to avoid that. Most likely, they don't. If they had an option to not answer to their shareholders, they're going to take it because that's going to reduce their stress, right? Now, the reason why they got into that situation in the first place is because you know they probably didn't think it all the way through, right? They got caught up in the VC hype. Now, another problem with VC is, of course, right, your exit is going to affect the money that you get from the exit and things like that. For example, let's say your company has done really well, and you exit at you exited the company. The company is exiting at $100 million. You sold the company for $100 million. Everybody's exiting. Um, it's going to affect your payout, right? Like the amount of money you're not going to get 100 million, right? Even if you sold that company for 100 million, you're not going to get that entire capital. You're not going to get the entire 100 million because they're going to that money has to be distributed amongst the shareholders and investors first, and then based on how you have diluted equity and things like that, it's going to uh, be it's all that is going to affect your the payout that you're going to get at the end of the day, right? All those years of work, what is the payoff? The payoff for all those years of work is going to get affected by all those variables. And some founders, right? They mean like they earn peanuts compared to the amount that they sold the company for. And those are horror stories, basically, in my opinion, because you spend 5, 6, 7, 10, 15, 20, I don't know how many of a years, and then boom, you're getting peanuts at the end of the day. And all those all those hours that you worked, all those sleepless nights that you endured through, what are you going to get for all that? The reward for all that is peanuts. Because, you know, sometimes these founders didn't think it through properly. don't fall victim to that. And how you prevent yourself from falling victim to it is by, you know, ca- ma- being tactical about things, making a plan, being calculated about things, right? Being logical, rational, and calm about things. Right? Do not be emotional in your decision making. Be logical in your decision making. That's the point number one. Point number two is the next thing is touch some grass. Touch some grass, man. Have some hobbies, things like that that you do outside world, right? Just for 30 minutes. Even if that means going to the fucking gym. I think going to the gym is mandatory, right? But you gotta have something that's outside of work. Just one thing is enough. When you're in monk mode, right, when you want to just focus on one particular thing, for example, let's say you want to focus on just growing your business, yeah, that's cool. That's your main focus, but go to the gym as well, right? You gotta have something else to, de-stress your mind, to unload and decompress. Pause. Um, yeah, you need to be having an activity that will allow you to decompress, unwind, relax. If that will allow you to manage your stress properly, and that will help you stay sane. That's number two, right? Activities like swimming, playing chess, playing snooker, taking a walk in the park, um, jogging for 30 minutes, for example. All that helps. Talking to friends, good friends, not idiots, of course. Um, Good family members, all that helps. That's point number two. Point number three is meditation. You gotta fucking meditate every day, at least for 10 minutes. I meditate for 10 minutes every day, right? Um, in the morning or in the evening. I'm trying to increase it to 15 minutes right now. I'm not trying. I am going to increase it to 15 minutes eventually. The way you go about, meditating is building that habit of meditation is by starting small. I'd start with 2 minutes, then increase it to 5 minutes, then increase it to 7.5 minutes, and then increase it to 10 minutes, then 15 minutes. That's what I did. I started at five though. Started with 5 minutes of meditation, then increased it to 7.5 minutes of meditation, and then I wait to 10 minutes. I'm going to now eventually increase it to 15 minutes, and then boom, there we go. And I will eventually increase it to 2 sessions because meditation will help you calm the fuck down. Or it will help you calm the fuck down, and it will help. That will help with the decision making process significantly. And also, it has a lot of other benefits for your health as well. There we go. That's how we manage stress effectively. And of course, right, last but not least, you gotta have self belief. You gotta have an insane amount of self belief to the point that others may even call it delusional. Because only you know the vision. Only you can see that fucking vision, that dream, that goal that you have. Only you can see it. Nobody else can see it. Right? So you're the only one capable of seeing it. So you're the only one capable of having the belief as well. Others can't instill it in you. You gotta instill it in yourself. Of course, you can take inspiration from others, but since only you can see it, only you can have the belief. You gotta instill. You gotta be the one to instill self belief inside yourself. You gotta have insane levels of confidence in the fact that you're going to make it. You are going to be successful. Nobody is going to fucking stop me. That's gotta be a mindset, right? You're going to be successful. You're going to win. That's gotta be the mentality that you have. Because even when things get uncertain, even when things get, you know, sad or depressing or something like that, even if shit looks bleak, you gotta still remain confident in yourself. Without that self belief, you're not going anywhere. Without that self confidence, you won't go anywhere. Right? With that being said, I hope this video was useful. Let me know what you got out of it. You can share your story, things like that in the comment section. And yeah, see you in the next one.